Rowan, interview, take one.
Awesome. So I guess we'll just start with your name. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from, and how did you sort of discover music and your love of it?
Yeah, my name is Rowan Drake. I'm from upstate New York. It's a small town called Ithaca. And I don't know, love for music. My family, they're not musicians per se, but they're lovers of music. My mom used to follow around this band called the Grateful Dead, and my dad just kind of had broken instruments lying around the house. So it kind of just was always a part of my life, but never something I considered as like a career choice. But it was never frowned upon to just sing and play instruments and kind of live inside of that world. So
Yeah, I love that. Talking about your world, specifically music, like through your pursuit of music, how do you see your inspirations change just through your career and through your age?
yeah, so much. I mean, there's definitely things that have stuck around. My mom really showed me a lot of the music that still to this day I've kind of come full circle to love. From Van Morrison and Mazzy Star and Chris Cornell and things like that. But this past, honestly, year has been a big year of discovery for me. I think a lot of my taste has changed musically, and I've had like a bit of an awakening and just really started to kind of dive into my favorite artists and discover music from all over the world, like guitarists from Portugal like Baden Powell and Nina Simone, and just beautiful. There's just infinite music out there, and I feel like I've found a lot of it in this last year for myself. So
Yeah. No, that's really sick. And like sort of your discovery of that, where do you feel like your least favorite part of writing is, and how do you feel like you've grown in that sense of getting over that and pushing through it to discover your sound and keep building on it?
yeah, it's like such a fine line to teeter, because for me at least, the part that's the most challenging is maybe the deadlines or quotas or expectation to create, where I really enjoy, if I have someone to communicate with in my life, that's when I like to create the most, is when I'm trying to say something directly to them. And so I feel like I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of time in between stuff and not be rushed into doing anything. And I really get to just kind of create on my own timeline, which that's really the only problem I have with creating, is when it's not on my timeline. So
That's sick. I love that. Well, tell me what you're working on, what are you releasing soon, and what are you excited most about this summer?
yeah, well, I just finished up a project that comes out June 14th called For All My Eyes Have Seen. And it's kind of just, it's this past 9 months of my life wrapped up. It's gone all over the place in terms of what it meant to me. I think at first it was my attempt to control a narrative and speak about new things in my life. And it was the first time in a long time I had new things in my life. So that was in of itself just such a shock to me. But now that the dust is kind of settling, I got a little frustrated with the project because it was all about the same person again. And so I kind of slashed it a little bit and put some new songs on there, and I'm really trying to break away from that. But that's kind of the foremost thing in my life, just getting ready to release that out into the world.
Heck yeah. Well, I know we're excited to hear it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.